Hello everyone, welcome to XCOM Enemy Within Long War version 1. If you guys are following my other Enemy Within playthrough, that one's purely to show the story. This one is going to be more of a challenge. Long War is just that. It makes Enemy Within and the earlier version for Enemy Unknown much longer and more difficult and more punishing. And overall, it's just not a fun time. I like punishment though. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. We're going to play on normal, and normal was easy in Enemy Within, so I think classic was where brutal is, and impossible is impossible. But I'm going to play on normal first. That's the recommendation from the mod makers, and trust me, we need it. I'm going to play with both DLCs though, because I quite like Zhang, and I quite like the, I think Annette is her name, and we're going to go through all these second wave options without a cut. And then when we come down to continent and country selections, I will make a cut there to do that all at the end of the video. Now, I'm going to go from the bottom up, because generally the bottom is where things are good. VR Training is a sub-mod I added, which you can add as a second wave option. It basically means that every day your soldiers get 1 experience point, and with each rank of the Officer Training School, it goes up. So just getting the Officer Training School up will up it from 1 to 2. Getting Squad Size 1 will up it to 3. Squad Size 2 will up it to 4. Officers will up it to 5. And then it'll keep going with each little bit of the Officer Training School until eventually you get 11 experience per day, which in 11 days is enough to turn rookies into squaddies, which I actually quite like. Recon, that's just going to make bomb missions a whole lot easier. Perfect Information, I like to see when the enemies fuck me. Let's see. The Friendly Skies, you pretty much need to do this because I think your Interceptor starting missile accuracy is 40, which is up from like the 70 of vanilla, and this just puts it up to 50, I think. Let's see. I'm not going to do We Are Legion. I am going to do United Humanity, though. Mainly because this is my first time playing Long War with the intention to finish it. I've done a bunch of small like tests up to now, both with and without Exalt, and adding Exalt makes it much more difficult. So I'm going to keep Exalt disabled. And I'm going to go with... No. Miracle Workers. No resources, only time for repairing items. I'll explain that later, when it actually happens. I am going to enable Mind Hates Matter, which means gene-modded soldiers will never be able to undergo psi training. It makes psionics and gene mods a lot more of a choice. Aiming angles I will turn on. Commander's Choice allows you to select the class, which is really good. And here comes... These ones are for purely pain lovers. Bronze Man, I think, allows you to restart missions in Iron Man mode. Total Loss means you will sometimes lose all gear from your soldiers when they die or are left behind, which is very difficult to deal with. War Awareness! Overall funding drops with each month. That's great. Itchy Trigger Tentacle. When being revealed, they may shoot at you instead of going straight at you or into Overwatch. Cost of satellites increase with each one that is built. That's extremely difficult to deal with. Wear and Tear will sometimes wear out missions and require repair even if the soldier isn't injured. I'm going to keep this off because it's annoying enough when your soldiers get injured that you have to repair their items. Cinematic mode. It just makes them a lot more accurate in combat. I guess for the fact that this is going to be a challenge series, I'm going to leave that off. I'm going to leave results driven off as well. The more panic a country has, the less money it'll offer. That will end up killing you. I do want this to be a very long series, so I will enable Liberators. I think that's the way it should be meant to be played. If aliens are controlling countries, you should not be able to assault the temple ship. I'm not going to turn on Dynamic War, because part of the fun of Long War is just the pure volume of missions you get. I'm not going to receive a 100% bonus to critical hit chances on flanking, because the enemy gets that too, and they crit you enough when they flank anyway. I'm not going to turn on Red Fog, because it doesn't apply to the alien as well as it applies to humans, and it's very easy to get wounded, and it's thus very easy to take mobility and aim penalties. I will turn on Training Roulette for this, unlike my original series. Hidden potential, level up stats are randomized. New economy, funding is randomized. I'm not going to turn on strict screening. And we're going to start the game. Because this is purely a challenge, I will be skipping the cutscenes. Now this is where I'm going to make the cut. I'm going to explain each and every one of these starting choices. We're already 5 minutes in, and we haven't started the mission yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut here, and I'll explain to you each and every one of these and why I choose the one I'm going to choose. Okay, we're back after the cut. At the end of this video, there will be a long section of me describing the pros and cons of each and every one of these, including the 3 that I consider the most overpowered, which I will quickly go over with right now if you don't want to watch the little thing at the end of the video. Those would be United States, we have Ways, Cheyenne Mountain, and Special Warfare School, all 3 of which I consider at least A, with S being the highest and A being the second highest. I consider Cheyenne Mountain to be an S. Especially considering the content bonus of air superiority, you're going to need a lot of the saved monies here. Another one I consider overpowered, which I ranked an S out of from S to D, is Quai de Orsay. Country item requests appear, which I explain is because you get a lot more requests for sectoid corpses, which equals a lot of scientists, which jumpstart your science very early on and is viable late into the game because when you get captives, you could sell them for scientists and new soldiers, which is odd. The military is like, hey, we want this live alien here. Take our spec ops. Just take them. Alright, and the other 2 that I consider to be very broken and overpowered, South Africa, resourceful, you start with alien metallurgy and advanced salvage, and Egypt up here somewhere. For the sake of glory, you start with advanced repair, which is a late game foundry project that requires heavy floaters and is very expensive, which leads to faster repair time for your soldiers, gear, your mechanized units, and your aircraft. And that's the one I'm starting with because of Architects of the Future. That's going to save me money in the long run with the maintenance and money in the early game. So we're going to go with For the Sake of Glory, and we're finally going to get this kick-started. Hopefully I don't die I hate this map.
Just inside the Egyptian border.
Hopefully we don't die I hate this map.
Up a local broadcast indicating
it's already a great start.
In a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
Depending on where you spawn, this map is either fantastic or atrocious. I normally would skip this, but this is the first mission. Let's go, soldiers. Hopefully you won't die. Only 2 of them walked out. The other ones are like, no way.
You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO.
This is an unusual starting zone. The last few times I've played this map, it spawned me over here. Okay. So, there could be enemies as early as inside this building. But most of the time, they'll be anywhere in here. And I think sometimes they've been known to spawn over here. Okay, let's take a look at some of our soldiers, shall we? 71 aim for you. That's pretty good. What about you? 66, that's not bad. 66, that's not bad. 59. And your will's not that great either. You've got great mobility, though. I guess she'll make you an engineer if you don't die here. 66 aim, not bad. And 64 aim. Not bad, except for this one dude right here. Since you've got the best mobility, I'm going to let you scout ahead.
That's what we're looking for.
You can already see the meld, eh? It's worthwhile, even though it's low cover, to have someone over here. Let's go ahead and reveal what's in here. If you hit Alt and F9 playing Long War, Alt F9 and F8 increase time, and Alt F7 turns it back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send 3 of my soldiers this way. I'm actually going to speed this part up because I spent quite a lot of time just talking. I'd like to get some of this done. Alright. Try not to reveal anything over here because if I do, I'm screwed.
I'm on it, Commander.
So I'm going to send 3 of my guys over here and 3 of them along here. Now there's going to be like 12 sectoids. So, alright, anything else? Nope. Alright, Control O. Another useful Long War shortcut, Control O, turns everyone who still has a move into Overwatch. Oh, fantastic. You only have 3 base health. You have only... oh my gosh. 4 of my soldiers have only 3 base health. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Nope. 5 of my soldiers have 3 base health. This is going to be a fun one. Alright. Let's go ahead and reveal. No? If I go out here, though... Yep, there they are.
Alien life on Earth. We're witnessing
2 groups.
something never
That's not
before
good.
seen in recorded history.
You're gonna get back in here, because otherwise you're gonna get flanked. You, what's your aim like? You're the one with 64 aim. What about you? 71. And you've got 7 health. 7 health? You're only supposed to have 1 extra hit point. Oh, it must be because you've got the tack armor on. Alright, so... I'm trying to... There we are. You can't actually see them from here. Oh, that's why. There's still 1 more spot. I guess you can shoot. Only 19%. Might as well just stick you on Overwatch then. I'll wait for them to come over here, although they probably won't.
Moving.
I'm just gonna spam Overwatch. With any luck, they'll move within range, and I'll get a couple of easy kills on them. Yep, 44% was better than 19, but it still failed. Notice, something you'll notice in Long War a lot. 70%. Nice work, De Groot.
Their weapons appear to self-destruct when the operator dies. We should look closely for any fragments that could be salvaged for
He's in
our
half
own
cover.
development programs.
Alright, so something you'll notice in Long War, your 70% shots will miss 80% of the time, but their 20% shots will hit 80% of the time. It's an unfortunate reality of Long War. Alright, 50%, take that shot. Nope. Can't really move any further than this because of that sectoid on Overwatch there. You can hit from back here. Might as well take the shot. Nope, not quite.
Negative damage.
100% of the shots you don't take miss. Nice work! Great work, Barara. What about you? De Groot again, get yourself... Ah.
No way that just happened.
How about you? Let's go, McAllister. Nah, not quite. Hell, worth a shot. Get it? Worth a shot. Now, if there was any half cover up here, I'd take it. As it is, I'm going to move... No, I'm not going to move you at all, actually, because of that sectoid on Overwatch. He won't see us, but I guess I'll just Overwatch here. Mind Merge, fantastic. That increases their will, I believe. I don't think it increases their aim, but I'm not entirely sure. Another change from Enemy Within to Long War, it just does damage when they when you kill the Mind Merging sectoid. It doesn't kill the one it's Mind Merged with anymore. Okay, they're all just spamming Overwatch. At this rate, I'm not going to get the meld. Okay. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? All of them are on Overwatch. But something tells me they're going to want to try to get closer. So I'll reload back here because I might as well. They're not going to get good shots anyway. You really can't do anything here. You're in a bad spot because of those guys on Overwatch. So I'm just going to Overwatch everyone. We're just going to have some Overwatch funs. It's going to take a long time for this one to go through. Oh, great, another group! And neither of my Overwatch shots hit. It's fantastic. How many sectoids is that active now? Come on, De Groot. Good job, De Groot.
I'm out of firepower over here.
Alright, 26%. Yep, of course. 26% and critically wounded. That's a great start.
I'm pinned down.
Are they all on... No, one of them's on Overwatch. I have to break that Overwatch. If I don't break that Overwatch, I can't stabilize that soldier. 7%. Alright, good. Not only that, but that's also going to flank a good chunk of these guys. Which is going to force a lot of these guys to relocate. Now, the question is, do I want to take the guaranteed kill with a grenade here? No. See, no, you've got an assault rifle, so it's quite possible you will do the full 4 damage here. Yes, you will, okay. Okay, he's suppressed, so I can't do much here. You're gonna stabilize. Alright, so I just have to make sure that one does not get hit with a grenade. Then again... Oh wait, sectoids can't throw grenades. You are going to throw the grenade, though. The Groot, 3 kills!
You may want to instruct your men to exercise restraint when using explosives.
Valen, it's life or death, shut up!
Effective at killing aliens, they also destroy the artifacts we're hoping to recover from the bodies. Just something to consider.
Valen, it's life or death in this situation. Don't tell me to be careful.
Rolling.
Alright. And with my luck, they're just going to reposition and shoot the person that just killed that one sectoid in the face, critically wound him and kill them. Good job, McAllister!
I need ammo.
Yes, I know you need ammo. Be quiet. Mind Fray! Fantastic. Please don't hit. Please don't hit. Okay, good. Mind Fray only does 1 damage as opposed to 5 now, but has the chance to cause panic. Which is just fantastic! They're both using Mind Fray. Oh, that is so lucky. Oh, 54. Yep. Great. We're gonna have 2 people critically wounded after this mission. You've still got a 100% chance to kill this bastard. Or not. You know, it's fine. I totally wanted you to die. It's cool. Can you hit this bastard from down here? Ah, 60%. Fantastic. I'm just gonna have to blow him up. Yes, you earned a promotion by destroying alien artifacts. Congratulations.
Ready, Commander.
I'm gonna get you over here. You're in a better spot to shoot from here anyway. Now, if we can avoid taking a crit to the face again, that'd be fantastic. That first 26% crit was just unfortunate. They're both gonna Overwatch, right? Nope, 24%. Alright, well, at least you didn't hit this time. But goddamn. I have some of the worst luck. 21%, 26%. 21%. That one sectoid on Overwatch is pinning us. The only thing I can do is hope that this AP grenade does 6 damage. That way we're not pinned anymore. There we go. I'm going to take a bit of a risk here and move out. Hey, what do you say you get yourself another kill? This is why I like using cinematic mode.
Copy that.
There you go. Should only be 1 more active, yep. I'm gonna move him out here.
The designated position.
So yeah, we're gonna have a critical wound. A second wound. Just take the shot. Nope.
Got no ammo. Adjusting sights.
I wonder, if you can see him from here, will you be able to flank him from here? Yes, you will. Good job.
Good work out there, Strike One.
That was a disaster. But it could have been worse. We could have lost 2 soldiers.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, we're skipping these cutscenes. Yeah, we got 2 grave... Only 17 to 19 days? I thought that would be 30 days. I guess it's because they didn't have much health. Yeah, that's the reason. They didn't have much health. We'll go over those promotions at another time.
The research team is waiting your orders. We'll get started as soon as you give the order, Commander.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shut everyone up by doing all this. There we go. I'm gonna go with xenobiology first, because it'll enable the,
Commander, I realize our troops have to put their own survival first, but every alien we use explosives against is
Oh,
one
be
less
quiet,
opportunity to
Valen.
recover new art.
I understand that. Okay. Now, we only have 6 hundo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 motion trackers. These are very good. I'm going to start off with 1 satellite.
Commander, our current
I'm going to get myself
uplink
1
facilities
shiv,
are at full capacity. We should build additional
which
uplinks
leaves
as soon
me
as possible
enough
allow
to get
for
my
new
satellite
deployments.
uplink started.
We've still got some room to grow up here. But if we really want to expand our facilities, we're going to have to start excavating beneath the base. Unfortunately, the deeper we go, the more it's going to cost.
Alright, so what I'm going to do
Work crews
here...
are on their way to begin construction.
Can you
I'll
be
send word
quiet,
when
Shen?
the
I'm
facility is
trying to
operational.
explain stuff. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 3 uplinks, 3 nexuses here. This is going to be lab, gene lab, and psionics lab. Thermo generator, and eventually Illyrium generator, fission generator. Which is going to leave this for officer training school, alien containment, hyperwave relay, gallop chamber. And then here's going to be foundry, repair bay, workshop, and anything else I need. One thing I could do is I could make this laboratory, and then gene lab and psi lab. Oh, then down here, containment, hyperwave relay. And then still do foundry, repair bay, workshop here. And then do, I think, gallop chamber and something else there. So yeah, one of these has got to be officer training school, one of them's got to be alien containment. Those are the first 2 I got to worry about, and then I got to worry about the foundry, which I think I'll put right here. But I just barely don't have enough money to start this access lift, which I think I'm going to remedy right
Several
now.
members of the council have expressed an interest in
Which I can't
acquiring
remedy
some of
right
the
now,
artifacts
actually. I don't
we
have enough
recovered.
money.
However, we should be careful in choosing what items we release. The research team may not have discovered their true value yet.
Switching one of those to Stingray
When selecting
missiles.
a specific jet within the hangar,
Can you guys
choose
stop talking? Thank you. There we go. I'm switching one of these to Stingray missiles because they're good for raiders and fighters, because they penetrate armor a lot better than avalanche missiles. But basically, here's what I'm going to try to do. For research, I'm going to go xenobiology, which is what we're doing first, to enable the sale of corpses for scientists. Then I'm going to go alien weaponry, alien materials, beam lasers, advanced beam lasers, because I want to get my laser cannons on my interceptors up and running as soon as possible. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm going to use what little I have left to hire a couple of extra soldiers. Let's see what we have in the barracks. If I go ahead and go down here, got a couple of grave wounds. We're going to promote these guys when they're not fatigued anymore, because it doesn't make sense otherwise. So, what we're looking for soldiers is with at least 4 health and at least 13 mobility with decent aim. This one right here, Chenier Eluzua, 4 health, 15 mobility, 65 aim. Fantastic. 4 health, 13 aim, 69 aim, 13 mobility. Excellent. 14, 14, 13. Not bad. Decent will as well. 5, 13, 66. Excellent. 5, 12, 63. Not bad. 4, 13, 68. Pretty good. 4, 14, 63. Not bad. 3, 13, and 72. I guess that's good for a sniper. 3, 13, 61. Ugh. I hate 3 health. 3, 12. Oh, you know what? If you've got 3 health, no. There we go. 4, 12, 4, 12, 4, 13, 4, 12. Goodwill on this one. That's something I also have to keep in mind. If they have got low health and mobility, they might also have goodwill. Like youth. I mean, 13 mobility is not bad. I just don't like having low health. Oh, and Frost, you might make a good engineer or scout. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to scan for activity until we find something. We might get an abduction before we get a UFO. We're just going to scan for a while. Yeah, we got the abduction first.
Commander, we've picked up multiple
In
requests
India.
for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologram.
Certainly use that money for more soldiers. Or we could save it. I'm not entirely sure on that yet, actually. And I don't think we'll be able to wait for anyone. No, one day, yeah, we won't be able to wait for any of this guys. So we're going to bring a full squad of rookies to this mission, but we're going to do that in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we're going to get right to this. I'm going to go ahead and stop my timer, because I'm recording this at the same time as recording the actual episode. Hooray for all that stuff. Anyway, we're just going to go straight down the list. Starting with Argentina. All soldiers receive +5 will, which is meh. It could lead you to get some pretty good psionics, but really the way you can get the will the best is, one, by having a psionic soldier, because every rank you go up will increase your will, and the other way is to use officers' abilities to stack will. So, +5 will on a rank for ranking from S to D, with S being best and D being worst. I'm going to rate this about a C, simply because the continent bonus. Power facilities are easier to build and maintain. And this is easy because it requires just one satellite to get. Alright. Next, Australia, all the way in Asia. Now, Asia's continent bonus is great. However, the Interceptor game over Asia is ridiculously punishing because Interceptors, UFOs that fly over Japan, literally fly like halfway across the Pacific Ocean. Your base is based in Japan no matter which country you choose, which means you have to go south to get to Australia in the first place. China and India are easy to shoot down UFOs in. Japan and Australia, you're going to lose satellites like that. So, automatically, anything with Asia is going to be no higher than a B in my book. Now, all soldiers receive +5 ability points for stat rolls upon recruitment is pretty good. It won't go above the maximum. So, for example, you won't be able to get a 20 mobility soldier out of this. You won't be able to get a 75 aim soldier out of this. You won't be able to get like a 50 will soldier out of this. It just makes your soldiers much more well-rounded. You'll be getting much more 5, 13, 70s, as opposed to getting like 3, 15, 70s in terms of health, mobility, and aim. Now, the continent bonus is really good. Foundry projects have cash, alloy, and Illyrian costs reduced by 25%. Foundry projects are exceedingly useful, but exceedingly expensive, so. Alright, going back to South America, there's 3 for here. One of them that has no bonus. The no bonus goes straight down to D. It's useless unless you want punishment. This one, Jungle Scouts, is one I would put right up to a B. Early armors, which is something you're going to be using for like the first 4 months of the game, already get an additional small item slot. Long War gives you 2. This would give you 3. Basically, imagine this. A grenadier engineer, with smoke grenade already on, meaning he gets 2 smoke grenades, then you could put 2 AP grenades, 2 high explosive grenades, 2 flashbang grenades, and if he has smoke and mirrors, that means extra smoke grenades and flashbang grenades. And that's all in the first set of armors, right up to Phalanx and Kestrel and Aurora, which is pretty damn good. The other one is increased research credits from interrogations. Depending on how quickly you rush this is either amazing or horrible, because it boosts research credit percentage from 25 to 40, which, depending on how quickly you do it, is incredible. For example, getting the floater interrogation done gives you the aerospace research credit, and that applies to Foundry projects as well, which reduces their time by half. And with a minimum amount of engineers, UFO countermeasures is probably the most useful. Early one takes 44 days if you don't do it quickly, which is incredibly horrible. Alright, we're going to North America for Canada. This one is right down there at a D. XCOM HQ starts with a laboratory and workshop already built. This saves you 400 credits, it saves you, I think, 21 days, but they start right next to each other, so there's literally no possibility for getting good adjacency bonuses. It's normally 4x4 blocks that are the standard, but when they start right next to each other, they don't get adjacency bonuses between the two. Now, even with air superiority, this ability, which is probably the second, is one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game, for continent bonus, and Long War at least. Even with that, this ability is still right down there at the D, because it gives you a good jump start initially, but then you gotta tear down one of them to get adjacency bonuses, and that costs you money. Alright, Cadre. Now this one's right up there at a B in my book. Not quite an A, but, you know. You start with 4 corporals. Basically, it goes Rookie, Squatty, Lance Corporal, Corporal. So you get 3 promotions for 4 soldiers, and that gives you a really good jump start right out of the gate, especially if you save them for the first UFO, because sometimes you'll be facing the first UFO with entirely rookies. And let me tell you, outsiders in this mod are no joke. And combined with the air superiority continent bonus, this is just fantastic. Alright, we're going back over to Asia, but not before I go to the bathroom. Alright, I apologize for the delay, guys. Alright, we're going with China. This one, start with a workshop and repair bay already built. It's kind of good. I mean, it saves you some money in the early game. Mainly the cost to get these 2 up and running. The repair bay is not that expensive. I don't know where they're placed, but I'm pretty sure they get adjacency bonuses, because I'm pretty sure they'll appeal right next to each other. So it's slightly better than Canada's, but I'd rate this as a solid D as well, honestly. There are better starting options, especially considering the continent you're on. China! 100% cash from corpse and wreck sales. Horrible. you don't ever want to sell corpses or wrecks. You need to use them. You either sell sectoid corpses to Council Nations for scientists, or you use you use floaters for aim boosters for your UFO, your interceptors. You use drones in a lot of Foundry projects. You use seekers. You use cyber discs. I'm pretty sure you even use some sectopods as well. I mean, there is, like, and besides, sometimes they'll offer you money for some of these things, not just, you know, engineers and scientists. And even if they didn't offer you any money, I'd say engineers and scientists are still more important than getting 100% of their normal sale rate. This basically means if you want to sell a sectoid, you'll get $4 for each corpse instead of 2. And honestly, I don't think that's any good at all. And then the other one, reduction in gene meld, cache, cost, and modification time. It's okay-ish. I'd say about a solid C. There are better continent bonuses, country bonuses. The continent bonus is great, the country bonus, We're going to come back to Egypt. Because, honestly, Egypt is one of the ones I'm considering starting it. Alright, going with France. I'm going to come back to France as well. Spoiler alert, Egypt, France, and South Africa are the ones I'm going to be looking at. Alright, so, second one of France, Foreign Legion. Start with 20 additional soldiers. I'd say it's about a C. Wealth of Nations is, I think, the third best continent bonus, maybe even second best. Because you need money. Always you need money. Even in the late game, you're going to need money. And starting with 20 soldiers right off the bat is useful. Although you could just take Wealthy Benefactor from Mexico, which is another one of the North American ones. And you can hire the 20 soldiers yourself, and you'll be on North America, which is easier to intercept UFOs on, and has the better continent bonus. So I would avoid this one for France. And staying in Europe, we got Germany. Skunkworks. Start with Foundry already built. Don't do it. This is a D, straight up. When you start with the Foundry, you don't start with any Foundry projects available. You have to do research until it's finally available. So this literally serves you no purpose other than saving you some money and some time. That's about it. Facility construction time reduced by 33%. It's okay. It's basically free. Build quickly, except slightly less fast, I guess. It's not bad. It's better than Skunkworks, but I'd say it's a C, not a D. Neopanzers. Reduced cache, alloy, and alarium required for mech and shiv primary weapons. You should not prioritize mechs and shivs. You should prioritize your flesh and blood humans. So I'd say this is about a C as well. It's a good reduction. It's better than if you put a satellite over the continent otherwise. It's I think, 30 or 33%. If you put it over the country normally instead of start there, but still not my favorite. And then Germany, no unique bonus. Again, straight down there at a D. We're going to go to the United Kingdom, just stay in Europe. Special Air Services. All soldiers get +3 aim. This is pretty good, especially if you don't start with cinematic like I'm doing. But I wouldn't want to start, just to get it, honestly. And the other one you can get via satellite, which is reduction in ranks required for officer training school, is pretty good. Start with penetrator weapons, D. Penetrator weapons is a quick, easy, and inexpensive Foundry project, and it doesn't increase the armor piercing capabilities of your interceptor weapons by that much. And Sandhurst, 33% reduction in ranks required for the officer training school. This is basically the better version of what you would normally get if you place a satellite over them, which is pretty good. It allows you to get squad size 1 and 2 very quickly, but then again, you also have to spare the money and the time to build the officer training school and get the squad size upgrades. By the time you're actually ready to do that, you'll have had them available for way too long. Alright, what else? Is there anything? I did not go over Japan or India yet, and those are the last two for Asia. So we're going to go over India. Jai Jawan, start with 2 additional interceptors. That's fantastic. That saves you $400. And you start with Illyrian Afterburners. Foundry project that requires, I think, alien propulsion, which I think also requires like 120 Illyrium and 400 credits to start up. So that saves you a lot of money and a lot of time and gives you 2 new interceptors. The problem is it's in Asia. And although New Warfare is great, intercepting in Asia is annoying. It's a good starting location. I actually like Jai Jawan's satellite bonus better. When you put it over India, you get, I think, +5 bonus to laboratory adjacencies, which includes the Gene Lab and the Psi Labs, which gives you a significant boost to your science, especially if you already got a 4x4 block going when you put satellite over India. I would much prefer that one than this one, although this one is not bad at all. I've started here and done well. Especially since I'm using a sub-mod that doubles interception time but halves all damage to try to reduce the random number generator portion of it. Alright, and Japan's got a lot, including one with no unique bonus, so I'm automatically going to shelve that as a D. Start with 3 additional steam vents. I'd say it's about a C. You really only need 2, and it's really just dependent on where the steam vents are. This just gives you more flexibility. Ghost in the machine. Receive 10 plus aim, and you start with 2 shivs in the barracks. This is 10 plus aim for shivs. I'd say this is about a B, actually, because shivs start already with 85 aim. So this is giving them 95 aim without a laser sight or a scope, and I always put a scope on my shivs. And you start with 2 shivs in the barracks. I always like to try to build a shiv, because it's a great respite for when you've got a whole bunch of fatigued soldiers, and you just need a spot on your team that's not a human, honestly. The satellite bonus is, I think all new shivs and mechs get plus 5 aim. Which is not bad. It's a weaker version of this one, basically. And this one isn't bad. I'd say this is about a B. And the other one, Kurukai Commander. Start with a Master Sergeant of a random class. You remember how you started with 4 corporals in Canada? This is basically a super version of that, but with 1 dude. So it normally goes Squatty, Lance Corporal, Corporal, I think Sergeant, no, Tech Sergeant, Sergeant, Master Sergeant, and then Gunnery Sergeant. So this guy is already 1 below the highest you can go. The only problem is if you're not playing with Commander's Choice, you don't get to choose its class, which puts this right down at a D. You can get a class that you do not want. But with Commander's Choice, this is right up there with a B. As I said, nothing in Asia is going to be higher than a B because of how hard the Interceptor game is over it. So that's about the best it can get in Asia. This is a weaker version of their satellite bonus. So, when I said plus 5 aim for this one, I was lying. This one's plus 5 aim for new shivs and mech troopers. I think with the satellite, you get plus 3 aim. It's okay. Yeah, it's kind of okay. Not really that good. Alright, that takes care of Asia and Europe, I believe, right? Yep, so I just have to do Africa and the United States now, I believe. And I've already done both of Canada, so let's go with Mexico next. Wealthy Benefactor. Start with 500 bonus cash. Keep in mind, Canada, the US, and Mexico are all going to have increased bonuses based on their continent bonus. So this is going to be a B out of an S. Because pretty much everything of these is either a B, an A, or an S. This is going to be a B. Basically, this gives you 500 extra, in addition to the 600 you start with. So you start with 1,100 monies. So that way you could start immediately satellite uplink, like 2 satellites, an interceptor, a few units. I quite like doing that, honestly, because it allows you to control what you spend that money on, as opposed to getting it as a starting bonus. So yeah, that's about a B. I forgot about Russia for Europe, so let's go ahead and I can do that. It's so easy to forget about those commie bastards. They're not technically communists anymore, but anyway. Sukai Command. Sukai, I don't know how it's pronounced. Cut me some slack. Start with Enhanced Avionics, granting plus 10 to hit during air combat. I'm going to go ahead and rate this as a C. It's a good project, but it's also easy to get and relatively early, so you're not going to want to do this as your starting bonus. Roscosmos. Start with an additional satellite uplink, which means you can already launch a satellite, and every single satellite is half off. That's fantastic when you consider you need at least 15 additional satellites for every country, plus my guess is another 15 satellites for all the ones the aliens will shoot down. So Roscosmos is actually a really good bonus. It's just that, again, the interception game in Europe, especially Russia. Basically, an interceptor, this is the path an a UFO will take around Russia, where my mouse is tracing. And then it'll fly away. And if you, God forbid, happen to launch your interceptor, and because your base will always be around here in Europe, if you launch your interceptor when the guy's going like this, you're going to have to chase him all the way over here when he starts turning toward the pole. And that's the only chance you'll get at that point. That's how annoying the air game is over Russia. Alright, we're going back to Mexico, where it's nice and warm and not at all snowy. Ancient Artifacts. Start the campaign with the Illuminator Gunsight Small Item. If you're not playing with it Exalt, you need to pick this bonus to get the gun sight in the first place. If you are playing with Exalt, that means you're going to get 2 of these, because you get one of these when you raid Exalt's HQ. I think this is just basically a super scope. I think it gives you plus 20 aim and crit chance, which is fantastic for snipers, and it's a great small item, but not worth this continent bonus. So I'd say this one's a B, about as low as you can get for America. And then 20% bonus psionic training chances. Honestly, even for America, I'm going to rate this as a C, because it's just a matter of time now for psionics. If you want a soldier to be psionic, just keep churning them right through training. It's not a gift that you discover anymore, it's a gift that you train. So every soldier will eventually become psionic. So this is right there, like at a C, and I told you nothing would be below a B in the Americas. Alright, and that just leaves in America, well, America! The United States. And there's one with no unique bonus, that's a D. Even with the air superiority continent bonus, that's a D. Special Warfare School. Officer Training School projects cost 90% less. This is amazing. This saves you, I think, like 1,500 over the course of the entire game. So this saves you a crap buttload of money. But it doesn't save you that money until early mid-game. And toward the end game, the Officer Training School is slightly less of an inconvenience in terms of money. So this one's about an A. It saves you a ton of money. And it saves you, it doesn't save you any time, it just saves you a lot of money. So that's why it's only an A. Cheyenne Mountain. XCOM starts with all elevators built and all excavation costs are reduced by 50%. That's an S. That's an S right there. It's one of the abilities that I find completely broken, because being able to immediately expand your base is a huge time saver. And I think with the all the elevators built are already given their own power sources as well, so you start with additional power. So that way, each individual elevator gives you an additional power instead of it costing a power. And not only that, but when you get to the bottom, each one of the excavations is 80 credits, and that doesn't seem like much, but that means it's 160 for each side. That's 320. That's a lot of money, especially in Long War. So having that reduced to basically 160 is incredible. And the last one for the United States. We have ways. 75% reduction in time to complete autopsies and interrogations. This is a nerfed ability of South America's continent bonus from regular XCOM. And it's an A. Because autopsies and interrogations are very, very powerful in Long War. Autopsies give you access to gene mods and new foundry projects. Interrogations give you research credits, and now they also... God damn voice. So yeah, this is a nerf version of South America's starting bonus from regular XCOM. Autopsies and interrogations are a lot more powerful in Long War now, because autopsies give you access to new foundry projects and gene mods. Interrogations give you the research credit, but they also unlock the psionic abilities you get now. Where, the only one you have available from the start is Mind Fray and Neural Feedback. In order to get some of the other ones, like Mind Control, Rift, you need to complete interrogations, because Rift is an ability you can use before the last mission of the game now. And I can explain that later. But yeah, the United States is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, starting country. And North America is probably the strongest starting continent, with Africa coming in a very, very close second. We're going to go with Egypt first. Gift of Osiris. Fatigue from Psi, Gene Mod, and Officer ranks reduced by 50%. As amazing as South America, not South America, just Africa in general is, I'm going to rate this a C, because if you're going to use Psi powers and Gene Mods, then you should know what you're getting into, and you should be anticipating the increased fatigue that accompanies it. Even if you fully deck out someone in Gene Mods, and you completely fill out someone's psionic skill tree, they're only going to have an increased fatigue for about a day, which immediately gets reduced back to its normal time if you have an officer with Stay Frosty. So, I wouldn't bother with Gift of Osiris. However, for the sake of glory, this is an S. Start with Advanced Repair. Grants faster repair time for aircraft, mechanized units, and damaged soldier gear. This one is a late-game foundry project that you need a heavy floater autopsy for. Heavy floaters appear, I think, 7 months into the game in Long War. And Advanced repair makes the interceptor game a lot easier. Not quite, because it could take you from having a half-damaged interceptor 2 weeks to repair to, I think, about 8 days, which is not quite half, but it's still extremely good. I can't tell you how many times I've had a UFO shot down because my interceptors were 2 days or even 1 day or even 5 hours away from coming back online. If I had had this Foundry project right from the start of my game, the air game would have been so much easier. Not only that, but early on, Architects of the Future is a fantastic content bonus. They cost less to build and maintain, 30% less actually. So let's go ahead and take a look. They cost 200 to start with, multiply that by 0.3. That saves you 60 credits per, and you're going to want at least 2 of each. And early in the game, 60 credits is a lot. So that saves you 240 credits in the early game. And not only that, but they cost less to maintain, and that's the important part. Right from the start, those things don't cost nearly as much to maintain. That's almost on par with North America's continent bonus of all interceptors, and weapons cost 25% less to build and maintain. This is fantastic. This is straight up an S, no doubt about it. Alright, next would be Nigeria, I believe. Yes. The old path. Reduced Psy training time. No. C. That's about as low as you'll get on Africa, is a C. No unique bonus. That's a D. It's always going to be a D. Pax Nigerina. All soldiers receive +1 mobility. That's an A. Close to an S, actually. 1 mobility is about 3 tiles of movement. There have been many times where I have been 3 tiles away from grabbing meld before it expired, or 3 tiles away from a flank that saved my ass. There have been times where I have died because of 3 tiles. There have been times I have chain panicked from 3 tiles. That's when a soldier dies, one panics because of that, another one panics because the other one's panicking, and snowballs. That can disable your entire squad for 2 turns, in which case it's really easy for your opponents to flank and kill you. So, that's a very, very, very strong ability. An A, bordering on an S. And I went over the other 2. Right? Yep, okay. And finally, South Africa. Survival training. All soldiers receive an additional hit point. This is a B. Mainly because it's only useful when stacked with other ones. For example, Russia's Spetsnaz, which makes all assault and infantry recruits that are freshly promoted have an additional HP. So basically, if you have got a 5 health rookie that you want to turn into an assault, he'll have 6 health. But with Spetsnaz, he'll have 7 health. And if you start it in South Africa, he'll have 8 health. Having 8 base health is really, really good. That's why survival training is really good, but it's not the one in South Africa I'd pick. I'd pick resourceful. This is an S as well. Start with alien metallurgy and advanced salvage projects. Bonus from alloys and weapon fragments. These are both early Foundry products, but they're expensive to start up. I think you save something like 150 meld, 400 credits, some weapon fragments and alloys, but it also saves you time. And by the time you're ready to start these Foundry projects, you'll have amassed a small fortune in terms of alloys and weapon fragments from this bonus. Especially considering the fact that South Africa is pretty easy to defend in terms of interceptor game. So that is fantastic. An S as well. South Africa has got 2 S's, and the last one is France. It's the only country in Europe that I only mildly went over. The last one. Quai de Soleil. I believe I pronounced that right. I am no expert on French. This is an S. Even with the interceptor game over Europe being a damn shitfest, this ability is an S as well. Country item requests occur 40% faster. Fulfilled requests provide 40% additional defense, and intel scans cost 40% less. Let me explain this for you. Sectoids. You can sell them for you can sell their corpses for scientists to council nations. This makes them occur 40% faster. You can sell everything, including the captives you get. For a sectoid captive will give you 3 scientists. A sectoid commander, I think, will give you 3 scientists and a corporal recruit. That's the important part here. Is once you start getting mutons and sectoid commanders as captives, you can trade them for soldiers, and not just scientists and engineers. Like heavy floaters give you 1 scientist, 3 engineers. I don't believe ethereals get you anything, sadly. No, I think ethereals give you 5 scientists. I can't remember though. Someone actually have to quote me on that. And this additional defense thing in Long War, countries council nation countries, I don't know why all this is suddenly tangled, hang on, they have a little defense meter next to them, a little shield when you look at them in the situation room. If you fulfill these requests, that little meter slowly starts to go up. And when that meter is full, failed abductions, UFOs flying over their territory, bombings, and even terror missions have their panic penalties, I'd say, reduced. So that if, say, France has got a full meter, and you don't shoot down a fighter and it bombs a civilian target, instead of the panic going up by a full bar, it'll go up by a half bar. If a terror mission appears in France, instead of the panic going up by a certain amount per civilian killed, which is how it is in Long War now, no matter how many civilians you save, panic will go up unless you save them all. This will, if their defense is full, it'll cause their panic to go down per civilian less. Panic to go up less. You know what I mean. And if you're playing with Exalt, saving money on intel scans is just a nice little bonus. This is a fantastic ability. Why is my recording not stopping? Behave yourself! Stop that! Stop that! It's not stopping. What the hell was that? My voice just decided to fuck me over there. Whoa. Pretty sure a fly flew into my mouth for that to happen. Holy fuck.